This morning we're hearing about the ministry of Shepherd's Canyon, and I'm not sure which of those two words is more powerful, the shepherds or the canyon. It was about 2 years ago. I was about in year 28 of ministry, had been teaching, had been principal, and then this pastor thing, and 28 years into it, I was looking and praying and looking and just asking God for an opening at Home Depot. Home Depot was really all I could think about because I did not like doing what I was doing. After 28 years, I had had enough, and it seemed pretty clear to me that God was finished with anything I could do, and so I said, okay, Lord, just open up that door. I talked to our district president about it, and he asked some pretty interesting questions. He said things like, well, does your wife and your kids notice that you're a little different? I said, well, I don't know. They're always upset with me. After some talking and meeting with other professional people, well, it was pretty clear that I was in a really, really bad, dark place. And all I wanted to do was just run away. Just run away from everything because nothing was going well. Now, I didn't see it. Everyone around me saw it. Co-workers, people of the congregation, my family, but I didn't see it. In talking with the district president, he said, I want you to go to this place. It's called Shepherd's Canyon, and I want you to take your wife. And I told him I don't want to go. And I guarantee you, my wife doesn't want to go anywhere with me for a week. He said, I need you to go, and I need you to tell Kate that it's important for both of you to go. So we got our tickets, and we flew from Kansas City to Phoenix, and I'm telling you, the whole flight, I'm like, all right, Lord, if anybody during this week tries to tell me that I need to keep doing this, shut them up. Because, Lord, you know my plan. I'm done with this. And I will tell you that this week at Shepherd's Canyon was one of the most difficult and miserable weeks of my life. It was also one of the most impactful. Some of you heard about Shepherd's Canyon at our voters meeting in June as we were choosing our mission appeals, and I was the one to champion Shepherd's Canyon, and I shared briefly with the voters why, that Kate and I had experienced Shepherd's Canyon, and well, I'll be connected with them probably the rest of my life, serving as a chaplain in whatever way I can to help share the joy of this miserable, difficult week. Roger and Dave are here not just to share their talents, but also to help raise the awareness of this ministry, this canyon that God sent us to. 23 hours of intense counseling. Focus on the word intense. Individual, couples, as a group of 8. With professional counselors. Of yes, getting into God's word, of yes, examining our own lives and our histories and where we've come from and the challenges and the difficulties that we're going through. You see, Shepherd's Canyon, for this retreat, it's for church workers only. Church workers and their spouses, because believe it or not, when church workers are struggling, it affects their spouses. It affects their children. And so we went. And we came back. And yes, God did what He wanted to do. So what does that have to do with our reading? You know, this kid's story of the 3 men in the fiery furnace, and isn't it wonderful? It was all happily ever after because they came out, and Nebuchadnezzar, the bad guy, was a good guy because he recognized God. But remember what it said. He threw these 3 in the furnace because they wouldn't worship the idol of himself, of Nebuchadnezzar the king. So he's going to fry them in the furnace. He throws them in, and when he goes to look in and to see what he has done, he sees 4. And in fact, the people who saw the 4th person identifies and describes it as a son of the gods. Jesus himself. Yes, long before he was born. But Jesus, who has been around since the beginning of creation, right there in the fiery furnace with these 3 gentlemen. Do you see the analogy? The fiery furnace, a shepherd's canyon, and you? Have you ever experienced a time in your life where you feel like you're in the middle of a furnace? The flames are all around you, and all you want to do is run away. Now, it may not be as dramatic as what I've shared, but all of us face those days in our lives where we just wonder, God, what are you doing? God, are you even there? It feels like the flames will overwhelm us. It feels as if the waves will overtake us. I was 49 years old. 28 years into ministry when I had a whole new understanding and realization of God's love, of his mercy and his presence in my life. Not just something I get to talk about or preach about or teach about, but the reality of Jesus with us in the midst of the fire. When they came out of the furnace, how were they described? Not a hair was singed. They didn't even smell like smoke. Because Jesus was there, protecting them, just as he is for you, just as he is for me. Amen. Sometimes the difficulty is asking for help. Sometimes the difficulty is swallowing our own pride or our perceived perception of others and saying, I need help. As a senior pastor of a large congregation, I'm not the one that needs help. I'm the one that helps others. So I thought, God, who gives us the umbrella of grace to live for him, goes with us wherever we go. On the days of rejoicing, on the days of challenges and difficulties, every moment of every day, God, Emmanuel, is with us.